I'm Claire from Creative the Otter Way. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! Here in the UK. Thank you for joining me. Today's make is definitely a Christmas make. The one I'm just going to show you uses the Storybook Gnomes Designer Series paper, but I've used the non-gnome side, if that makes sense. I'll show you that in a minute. And then the one that we're going to make today, we're using this DSP from Santa's Express Suite. And again, we're using the non-pattern side really, not the ones that you jump for joy and think, yes, I need to make a card with that, but some of the ones that are really sort of left out a bit. So we're going to use those. So what are we making? We are making, now let me get this right, a half star illusion card. So I recently saw this on Iced Images YouTube channel. She makes a much bigger version, lovely version, but I've scaled mine down for in the UK so that this will fit flat in a normal standard envelope that we put through the post. So mine's slightly smaller, so if you would like to make a bigger card or a bigger version, just go and have a look at YouTube. It is lovely. So as you can see, it's just a flat card. It stands up. Probably from that angle you can see this half star shape that you're doing. Looks far more complicated than it is, and what I love about it is it shows both sides of the DSP, which is a plus for me. Hate cutting DSP, just want to stare at it and look at it all the time. So like I said, this is from the Storybook Gnome Suite, but no gnomes. So if you're not into the gnomes, don't forget the other side. So that just folds flat like that, and you pop it in an envelope and put it through the post. Now, what I also like is sometimes when I've gone to a lot of trouble to do a card for somebody and it's all a bit complicated, they open it and they don't know how it's supposed to look on the side. This is easy. You just take it out, it just stands up. And I've added a die cut shape to the back to put your personal message on. So really simple, really easy card. But that's my original that I will refer back to. The one that I'm doing today, I'm using these papers. So I've already chopped them up a bit. It's that side is exactly the same, but I'm just using the other side. Stampin' Up! Is really helpful with their coordination. You don't have to run off and match papers, just turn it over, flip it over and use the other side and it matches. And I'm also using Shaded Spruce. Shaded Spruce? Completely forgotten about Shaded Spruce. So that is a nice colour that I'm using as well. And then what else am I using? Some of this ribbon, frayed ribbon. Not sure how that's going to go, but we're going to give that a go. This die cut shape. I think that's it. That is it. So shall we get crafting? If I put this here, just check you can see it. This is all the sizes. You just need some base card. I'm going to actually use one of my base cards that I buy. Just let Amber out. Sorry, Amber, wait a minute. Quick. Lovely. Don't you just know that's going to happen? As soon as you start filming, cat appears or wants to go out. So I'm going to use a standard card base. Just normally fold it in half, but I'm going to cut that up. The reason I'm using that rather than Stampin' Up! Basic White is because it's 300 grams in weight and it's a lot stiffer, and because your card is going to be standing up, although it's got no weight on it, I like the strength in that, so that's why I'm using my base card here. Then you need these little bits here, okay, that are going to make your star. This is this bit. And then of course you need your layers of card and designer series paper just to make it pop. So they are there as well. Seems really strange making a Christmas card today because it's like unseasonably warm outside. I've even got a jumper on and I'm melting. Okay, what do we need? So Like I said, I am using this base card, so I'm just going to cut that in half. So the size that you need for your main piece, this flat piece, that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/4. So going on the card size that I use, if I cut that in half, just on the score line, that should be 4 1/8 by 5 3/4. Ta-da! Simple. Now the other half, I'm going to cut 4 by 4 because I need a square that's 4 by 4. That bit, save to one side, you can use that for the sentiment or something if you want. And I'm just going to make sure that's nice and square, 4 by 4. Now the 4 by 4, you do need to score it in half at 2 inches. So I'm going to do that straight away so I don't forget to come back to that. Okay, so that's that bit. So what you're left with is the back and then this piece that's going to be that piece there. Okay, so now we need to do the layers that go on it. Now this is up to you. You could just layer straight with the designer series paper. It would look just as nice. I want a nice strong card, so I'm going to lay it with some of this shaded spruce. So the layering pieces, I need 2 pieces of this. So the layer that goes on the top in the card colour is 4 by 2 3/4. So 4, that's already cut out 4, that was handy. By, what did I say, 2 3/4. So I want 2 of those, 2 3/4 and 2 3/4. Okay, so they will be layering on my card there and there. And then the designer series paper that goes on the top of that needs to be, I need that over here a bit. So the designer series paper that goes on the top is just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So it's 3 7/8, which I think that bit's spare. Let's put that out of the way. I think this one already is actually 3 7/8. Yep, that's 3 7/8 by 2 5/8. So that one goes on there. And then this one needs to be, think about the way that your paper goes round as well. So 3 7/8. No, I need it that way. 3 7/8, don't I? Yes. So 3. No. 2 5/8. Let's start again. 2 5/8 is the width. 4, 5. 2 5/8. So that bit's spare, and it needs to be by 3 7/8. Okay, so I am just going to bring that back piece of card in and we will stick them on together, and I'll go back over the sizes. So basically we're going to put those on. So the coloured card, just find my glue so I can glue while I'm talking to you. The coloured card needs to be 4 by 2 3/4. So I'm going to put that on first. So it's 1/8 of an inch smaller. Oh, this glue's really struggling to come out. Maybe that's a good thing, then I won't use too much. So I'm going to put that one side. So this hasn't got any score lines at all in it. And I'm just doing it by eye, just like that on one side. Okay, and I'm going to do the same with the other side. Okay, I'm just going to turn that sideways so that I can do it. So just making sure there's enough of a frame round on those 3 sides. So like that. And then the designer series paper goes straight on the top there. So the designer series paper is 3 7/8 by 2 5/8. so 1/8 of an inch smaller than the card that we've used, and we're just centralising that. So there's a nice bold frame around that paper. It's really pretty paper that, and I'd completely missed it in the pack. So I am glad that we're highlighting it. Okay, and this one goes on this side. Just make sure that's in the frame. Okay, so that's my back piece. Oh, that's not a good sign, there's glue on there. Okay, there's that piece. Now, the square, what we need for that, we're going to cut some of the shaded spruce for that again. So bring my trimmer back in, smooth that out of the way. Okay, so the card for this needs to be 3 7/8 by 1 7/8. So if I do it this way, 3 7/8 and by 1 7/8. That's 1 and 1 7/8. That's 2. So they are going to go there and there. And then the DSP, I think I've already cut the DSP, but I will check it. Now remember, I'm just using the other side. So with the snowflakes, it doesn't matter which way round it is that you're cutting. So this needs to be 3 3/4 by 1 3/4. So that's 1 3/4, 3 3/4. So just check that, 3 3/4, 1 3/4. And I'm just going to stick that straight on. Isn't this a great card? I can see making a ton of these to give to people, because how unusual is it that you open your card and it's already popped up, and you just flip it over and read your message on the back. And really, it doesn't use that much designer series paper, and you get to show both sides. So perfect. Okay, and I don't even mind sticking this side down because I've already highlighted it on the back of the card. So that goes there. Just make sure there's a nice frame round. And then this one is the same. Like so. So that is the inside. So if I bring that back in, that, remember, isn't scored at all, but that is going to go there. How lovely does that look together? Really like that. I think my paper trimmer needs a new blade. So how do we make the star bit and make it pop out? Let's concentrate on that now. So we need 3 pieces. These pieces are going to be 2 inches wide, and they are going to be 5 and 5.5 inches. So I don't know that this is big enough, so no. So let me cut off, let's cut that at 5.5. No, let's cut it at 5 because I'm not going to get 3 out of there. So if I cut that at 5 to start with, and so 2 inches by 5 gives me the first piece that I need. Now I just need one that's 2 inches by 5. So 5, 2 inches, and then I'm going to do some scoring on the long side. So the first score is 1 1/4. And remember to move that cutting blade out the way. 1 1/4. And did I do that 1 1/4? Yeah, 2 1/2, 2 1/2, 3 3/4, and that's it. Okay, so that's one piece, and just fold that round. So that's your first piece. Now the other bit we need is, well, you need 2 the same. So we need 2 that are 5 1/2. So I'm just going to cut that at 5 1/2, at the moment. Now I know I can definitely get 2 out of there, so I'm going to go ahead and do the scoring. So I only have to cut once. So 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 3 3/4, and 5, and that should leave you with 1/2 inch. Okay, there's your score lines. That doesn't look right. Just looked at that. 1 1/4, and I've done 1 1/2. Good thing I checked. So 1 1/2, then 2 1/2 is right. Okay, let me tell you that again. 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 3 3/4, and 5 leaves you the 1/2. So I'm just now going to cut that off at 2 inches, not just once, twice. So I'll do that there, and I am just going to get rid of that. So that is my square. And the first line. Okay, so I've got 2 pieces like that and 1 piece without the extra tab on. So which bit do you do first? This bit. So the bit that is the 1/2 inch, the extra little tabby bit, we are going to put some glue on there. Okay, and we're just going to fold that flat like so, and just make sure that everything's lined up. Okay, and that should pop up to make a square like that. And do the same on this one. So on the extra tab, we are going to bring that round. Oh, press that down, and that makes a little square like so. And then this one will make the other square at the front. So now here's where you decide if you want to put some ribbon, or if you, I did think about doing this present, this star part in white and stamping all over it, but I really want the green to pop. And then I remembered that I'd got this beautiful ribbon that I've barely used. So I thought that would look quite nice around there. Now, there's a couple of things. You can see where the join is there, and I'm going to make sure that on my card, if I bring that bit in, that the join is going to be there. Okay, like so, like that. So when that is stuck, that piece and that piece are not going to be seen. You're only going to see 2 sides. 2 sides like that. Can you see? The other 2 are stuck. So I'm only going to put ribbon round those 2 sides with a little bit over the back. So I'm going to use some double-sided tape for this, just because it will help the ribbon stay in place. So with my join at the back, I'm guessing, really, you can measure. I am just going to put that over the middle, put it round, just make sure that whichever way I fold it, it comes off. I'm just going to, at this stage, remember you're just adding the ribbon. Let me move that out of the way so that you can see. And I'm getting my frayed ribbon, and I only want it to be a little bit round. Oh, I think that's not quite the middle. Let's move that over a bit, because that side's going to be stuck. So bring that round like that. Bring that round like that. Does that look level? Yep, and then I'm going to cut that off there. I'm going to use my, and try not to knock the camera. You see, so it is round, but it's, let me trim that bit as well because that looks a bit tatty, even though you're not going to see it. Okay, so I've got one like that. Two sides haven't really got anything on. Now I'm going to get the other piece, the bit with the tab. I am going to try and line them up just so I know. Find that at the back there. That is going to be there. And just cut that off. Now you could skip this part easily, you don't need to put ribbon around it. It will still look really effective, especially if you stick some sequins or some little embellishments on it. The choice is yours. And I'm sure that I'm making this look far more complicated than it actually is. So I'm just trying to line up the ribbon using the other one as my template. Okay, so that's just gone round there, and like so. So that's level. And then my third one is going to be all the way along. Okay, so need a piece, but again, you're only going to have ribbon on two of the sides. So I've been a bit over excited with the double-sided tape. So take that off, or actually just bend it all round and make sure that it moves with the box. Okay, take that off and make the ribbon level. Again, you're only going to see two sides. So I'm just going to trim that back to about there. It all looks a bit messy at the minute, but when we put it all together, you'll be surprised and happy. Okay, it's got my two boxes that are joined and my box that is open. So let's bring this back together. So here is your card, and we're going to move that one out of the way, and we're going to use these two. So these are going to go, so if you fold them, so the sides that are with the ribbon are there, you're going to place them on there. So I'm going to do this side first. So I'm going to put some glue on this side. There's a little bit of sticky tape there, so that's going to help as well, or double-sided tape I should say. And I'm going to line it up with the edge of my green, like so. Okay, so only one bit has got glue on and only one piece is going to stick. So I'm just going to hold that for a moment. Okay, and then I'm going to bring that up, and you can see that there is my square. So I'll put that back down, and now I'm going to do the other side. So again, I'm going to put some glue on this side, the bit that's got the little bit of ribbon, and I'm just going to line it up. So I'm lining it up with the green frame that's going round, but also lining it up with this, so it goes across, and then just pressing down on that side like so. Ta-da! Okay, so if I bring that up now, can you see that the ribbons match? Okay, so bring that down. I'm going to bring this in, and I need to put this in here. Now this is ever so slightly, remember this was 4 1/8 and this is 4, so it just is a touch in. We are going to put some glue on this side, So this side here that we want it to stick to. But we're going to line it up with this side so that you can make sure that you're happy with where it goes. Okay. Like so. Just make sure that's in there. Press down on that. And then do this side. Like so. And then press that down. Just make sure it folds flat. Just hold it. Say a little crafty prayer. Please let the glue stick very quickly. Ready for the video. And then pop it up. And there you have the sides of your star. Okay. Ta-da! Not quite. We've got this middle bit to do. So how do we get this bit in? So this is going to be folded like so. So we are going to put some glue on. Let's do this side because it's already got some double tape as well. So I'm not doing that side yet. I'm just doing this side. Fold it over. Try and line it up as well. So you are looking for it to be lined up with the green, which hopefully means the ribbon is lined up. Okay, let's have a look. Like so. Now do this bit. And we are nearly there. Put some glue on there. I don't think I did on the other side, on the ribbon, because we want that to be stuck. So I'm just going to bring that down there so that you know that it will fold flat. But also I'm checking that it comes out like that. Okay, so that wasn't enough time for it to set. Okay, let's have a look now. So, do you think it's stuck? Let's have a look. Okay. Ta-da! Look at that. So there we have our half star illusion card. How lovely is that? I feel like I need a bit of bling on there. Something sparkly for Christmas. Maybe some sparkly snowflakes. I'm not sure. Okay, but that is our second card. The only thing I need to do now is just stick this on the back. Just so I've got somewhere to write a personal message. And we have 2 half star cards. Okay, so that's just going to go there. Probably I would stamp a little sentiment on it first. I should have done that. I didn't think about that. But I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to press it over that way so that it goes. Just check that everything's stuck. And there you have 2 half star cards. Sentiment, where would I put a sentiment? On this one I put magic is in the air and just split the sentiment. I'm not sure. I need to go through all my stash and look for a really lovely sentiment. I hope you've enjoyed watching that. Thank you for watching. If you liked my video, then look for some more, subscribe and press the bell and you'll get notifications. I try and do a video once a week just to give you something to follow along and craft to. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook for more inspiration, or request my newsletter at createtheottaway.co.uk. Thanks for watching. Bye.